Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure news slash discussion video. We're going to be talking about everybody's favorite funny third-party figure company, Demoniacal Fit. That's right. Before we get into the video though, with what you see on the screen, don't forget to check out yesterday's Orange Piccolo video. I did a unboxing video, the History Box Orange Piccolo. Fantastic figure, and I actually did this one live, where this is a thing that I'm going to be doing now. We're going to be doing some of my unboxing videos live for you guys, and then I will make them into a normal unboxing video later. So definitely go check that out. It is a very fun video. But obviously, with Demoniacal Fit, recently on the channel, we talked about him about a month ago with the Demoniacal Fit Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and obviously talking about future Gohan, right? When it comes to the DF3Ku, right, they announced this guy, and obviously this has been in the midst of such a very weird time for Demoniacal Fit. In the midst of some of their best times as a company and some of their biggest controversies as a company, right? Obviously, the whole thing that's been going on with them, if you are unfamiliar, is that their project of future Gohan right here, basically the problem with this guy is it's not the fact that for this particular instance, let me pull up a new tab for you, that they showed a project and then they didn't actually, you know, like, do anything with it, because Demoniacal Fit at this point is known for making a lot of these things where it's like, oh, you know, basically they'll show off something like this, for example, right? We had Super Saiyan 5 Goku, or Tablos, whatever you want to call him, right? When it comes down to it, right? This one looks actually more like the Toyotaro AF version. Wait, pre-order open now. Where? I never saw this go up for pre-order anywhere. Well, if I see it somehow, I guess I'll have to pick that up. But like stuff like this, right? Obviously, this has not gone up for pre-order anywhere, right? There's been tons of examples like this, you know, the MUI Goku, right? Unfortunately, this looks like a figure that would have absolutely like blown me away, honestly. So it's really sad to honestly see that they're not going to be making this, or well, maybe they will, you know, we literally never know when it comes to these things. I mean, even the Masked Rose, right, this guy, he was originally shown off so long ago and only came out semi-recently, right? So sometimes these projects are in the, you know, in the proverbial gutter for a fat minute, and then they come back later. Obviously, this one was a little bit of a special case, though, because they're trying to compete with Kong, which, right, is kind of a different thing for the context of this video. But regardless, when it comes to Gohan, the difference with this guy is that they actually had pre-orders available, even 5K Toys, the website where obviously I usually get most of my third-party figures. They opened up pre-orders for this guy, right? Unfortunately, the pre-order is not there anymore, but when they open the pre-orders, obviously you could spend money on the pre-order, right, to obviously be able to get the figure, and they never followed up. There has been no follow-up information to future Gohan, right, whatsoever. So people are a little bit uppity about that right now when it comes to Demoniacal Fit. And I wanted to just give you this context before we get into, you know, the rest of the video. Because don't worry, we'll have a little bit more to talk about future Gohan in a second. But let's go back and talk about what they just announced. I think at the time of this video it will be 2 days ago. They showed off these, some work in progress pictures for the Ultra Ego Vegito, a Saiyan Saga Vegeta, and the one that I am definitely the most excited for. Obviously, this is a Dragon Ball Heroes Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, right? Which is really, really cool to see. It's really interesting with these figures, right? Because this is the type of thing where if DF would have announced this a really long time ago, I would be so excited. I would be like practically crying with excitement, like please let this come to fruition, because not only do I love anything Dragon Ball Heroes, right? Any Dragon Ball Heroes figures that I can get my hands on, I always love to try and get them if I can. I don't have the original Saiyan Saga Vegeta, and the face on this guy, from at least this image, looks fantastic, right? The face sculpt looks basically ripped right out of the anime, honestly. And not to mention, right, obviously Ultra Ego. There are a couple of Ultra Ego third-party figures floating around out there, but I don't think I've ever seen one that has really blown me away. There are some third-party figures that I see and that I even own that I'm like, wow, this is a fantastic figure. And even Kong's Ultra Ego from back in the day, like, it's alright, but I feel like that's a figure that if I bought it, I'd basically just be settling for it because it's one of the only options out there, right? This is a fantastic looking figure, and I would love to own this. But the thing is with DF, who knows if we can even trust them to not only just release this, but now give us the figures, right? Because, well, you know, a bunch of the comments on here, obviously, as you can see, right? This comment was hilarious. Tamashi's going to drop the 5.0 body before we see this in hand. That is crazy. But yeah, a bunch of people talking about here, right? Future Gohan. This person was saying, no way, a 2.0 figure, nobody cares. It's kind of interesting because I actually don't think, also this is not showing 24 replies. Instagram's either lying or it's just not displaying it correctly. But yeah, I think it looks fine. It is a little bit weird, because I swear that, like, I don't think these are 2.0, unless I'm just not that well versed on my, like, looking at production models like this. Like, it kind of looks like the arms are like 2.0, but I swear the legs look a little bit more similar to how the 3.0 articulation is. I don't know. You can correct me in the comments on that one. This definitely looks like for Vegeta's knees. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell, to be honest with you. This kind of looks a little bit similar more to the 2.0 articulation that I've seen for Vegeta figures. But I swear with, like, the pants, I don't know. Maybe it's just a difference with how the joint kind of makes it look. But here's the thing, right? Obviously, I know in terms of that whole thing with 3.0 versus 2.0, obviously we all want 3.0 figures because they have the best articulation, right? They have way better articulation than anything that the 2.0 can do. It's just, it should be the standard, basically, by this point, right? But if a figure is still solid, excuse me, and it's still a good figure, right? And it functions and everything like that, I honestly think that it's fine depending on the case, right? I guess it's more of a case-by-case basis, right? In this case, if it was a 2.0 figure, I wouldn't particularly mind. Obviously, I would prefer it to be a 3.0, but it's not like the end of the world, right? Like, it would be different if we had, like, another brand new release, which I guess is kind of funny that this is happening, of, like, you know, a Tamashii released base form Goku, right, where it's another 2.0 figure. Funny that that is the convention exclusive, but that's different. I'm talking about, like, a normal release, right? Or even if it was, like, a new Super Saiyan Goku, right? Like, if the legendary Super Saiyan Goku that just came out was for some reason a 2.0 figure, which, again, I guess they did do that with a convention exclusive. But again, the exclusives are different than the normal releases, right? Then I feel like that would have been an issue. So I guess it's kind of a case-by-case basis. But a lot of people, right, are talking about how that, you know, people are like, yeah, where is Gohan? Where is Gohan? We need to see Gohan, right? And I can't even blame them, honestly, right? Because it's like, for one, with DF's track record, if we go back to here, I scrolled down to the beginning of Demoniacal Fit's page. I just wanted to show you, first of all, in terms of, like, before we get to the Gohan thing, in terms of projects that have never actually come to fruition with DF, because again, we can't even trust that they're going to actually release these, because if we go back here, right, now the Ginyu Force thankfully has released. We're back in some really early DF stuff here, right? Let's go back to when they start doing some of these project shown things, right? Because, like, Vegeta released, right? I know a bunch of these head kits have come out. I actually have this figure sitting on my desk, but it is the Kaioken version. It's not the regular version of him. Obviously we have some Gokus, right? These figures, most of them have released. I don't think that this has actually ever come out, although we do have an official one of it now, so I suppose it's not that crazy of a thing. This guy did actually come out. I have that guy on my desk. I love that figure. Obviously the figures that are like this, where it's like a physical thing, of course, those ones, that it's not a 3D model, those actually exist. Funny enough, look at this. That 3Ku that we talked about in a previous video. Release date March 2022. Yeah, okay. This is a figure that they showed off a really, really long time ago, actually. But it's clear that now, you know, they've been working on it to make it a little bit more reminiscent of the 3.0 stuff, because obviously even the hair looks a lot more similar to the original Super Saiyan 3 Goku that Tamashii released. But if we go back here, and obviously this isn't everything, unfortunately, because this Instagram account, you know, it doesn't have it all from Tamashii, or Tamashii's history. Demoniacal Fit's history. This Yamcha never has come out, unfortunately. They don't even have on here, do they have him? I swear I've seen it. Yeah, this thing. This guy, dude, if this actually released, I would legitimately cry. Because I want this thing so bad. I want a base form Xeno Goku figure, because the only ones that companies have made, and ironically enough, even Black Hole Toys, which I'll cover in another video, obviously, that's not more focused on DF, is actually going to be releasing a Super Saiyan 4 figure of their own and a Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And I honestly might pick that up, because Kong's old Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku, I do own that just to have a posable Xeno Goku, but it's kind of not that good in my opinion. It's an okay figure. It's not terrible, but this guy, I would love for this to exist, right? This head sculpt doesn't exist in any, you know, capacity. The boy Zycor, which funny enough, if you've seen my Twitter recently, I've been getting into Dragon Ball AF. This guy, right, obviously, you know, has not released in any capacity, right? Of course, these, right? I mean, like, bro, I don't even know if I could even say that those might come out, right? Who knows? Of course, recently, DF just posted, whatever this is. So my point of the matter is that when it comes to these figures actually releasing, right, how do we know that we can even trust them to even, like, put these into, like, production, right? Because it's like there's so many projects that they quote-unquote announce and then they never make. It's the thing of, like, dude, I understand wanting to make these different things and, like, 3D modeling them for some different ideas or whatever, but at that rate, just don't show it. Like, just don't post it at that point, right? I would say at that rate, all you have to do is just keep it in the vault. And then if you're actually going to release it, then, you know, post some images. Like, it seems like from looking at their page that this Super Saiyan 3 Goku that they announced will probably come out, not just to compete with Kong's Super Saiyan 3s, but the fact that we have these images, right, where it's clear that they're actually working on it, because, you know, they have like a full 3D printed thing there. So it's the type of thing where we don't even know if they'll be able to fully, like, you know, put these into fruition. Now, with that being said, coming back around to the boy Future Gohan here, right? Here's what's really interesting about this Future Gohan. I am really glad that I caught this. This was from their Instagram stories, right? Because obviously all of this is on Instagram. I caught this when I was perusing through Instagram today. A screenshot, please forgive my phone being at 24%. It's charging literally right now. This screenshot here from their Instagram story, as you can see, if you want more information, send an email to this email right here. Now, in the Demoniacal Fit, like, bio, if we go back here, you can see that this is the email that's listed in the bio. But it's interesting, excuse me, that what they did for this is that they specifically put Future Gohan here, right? That, I think, is really interesting, because obviously what it sort of is telling me is that it's like, oh, well, you know, we want you to we want you to ask about this specifically, right, is what I would assume this would mean. And so I don't know if they will actually give some, like, proper information, or if this is just some kind of, like, marketing thing that they're doing. I really don't know. What I did do for all of you, and because I'm really curious myself, to be honest with you, I sent an email myself with the same screenshot that I took from your Instagram story here. And I said, I'm sending you an email to get more information on the True Warrior figure you posted about on your Instagram story. That's what, there we go. That's what this guy is technically called, because obviously they can't call it Future Gohan, because obviously that's just huge copyright infringement, more than what you're already looking at. But when it comes down to it, right, obviously that's what I was calling it, just to, you know, have it be in the name. Any information on it would be greatly appreciated. So, I don't know if I'll get an email back. If I do, I'll either make a community post about it or make a whole new video, depending on if there's some like new breakthrough in information, or I'll just include it in the figure news recap for next week. If I do get an email back, I'll talk about it in a video. You know, by then I'll mention like, oh, I got an email back or I didn't. So definitely, right, keep your eyes on the channel for that. I don't know if I'll actually get a response, right, by the time that this video goes up. Obviously, if there's not like a amends, like a little bit of an edit on the end of this video saying, hey, I got a response, then of course I haven't gotten one by the time that I uploaded this video. But obviously, right before I upload this, I'm going to double check to make sure that I didn't get a response to this. So it will be interesting to see if they actually give us an update on this, because I mean, it seems like that they want to give us an update with this, right? So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this some kind of funny marketing thing that they're doing? Are they just trying to save face because they know that people are not really happy with the company right now? And it's such a funny thing, right? Because like I was talking about before, when it comes to DF, right? Before recently, they were such a well-respected company in the third-party space, right? And I think that Kong has really been taking the spotlight from them quite a bit, right? When it comes to just being more reputable and, you know, making better business decisions with this type of thing. And not to mention, obviously, they haven't, I mean, hopefully they don't, but, you know, obviously, up until this point, they haven't actually put up a figure and then never actually come through with it. And that's the funny thing about this Future Gohan, is it's like, okay, well, is this just like a scam or something? Well, the weird thing about this is, of course, right, this guy, right, martial artist forever, it's so interesting that this figure released after Future Gohan, and obviously, right, this guy has come out, and people love this thing. This is one of the most popular third-party figures that I've ever seen, right, in my time in collecting figures. I'm telling you, this figure and the Kong Super Saiyan 3s are the two figures that I see the most on my Instagram feed when it comes to people taking pictures of figures. I see them all the time. And if not those figures, like specifically a kit bash with the parts from those figures, either being Goku's head or Goku's body, right, from either of the Kong or Demoniacal Fit figures. So it's just so funny to me that, like, they have, after this whole Future Gohan thing where they took the pre-orders and they haven't delivered on it, they released this figure, which people regard, at the moment, a lot of people say that this is basically like the best, quote-unquote, SHF figure of all time, which is insane for a company that is kind of in hot water right now, a little bit, to, you know, still have released this and have something that's loved by the community, right, generally speaking, right? It's kind of a wonder if they did this maybe just to, you know, shut people up a little bit, or if that just kind of happened to be the timing, right, when it was like, well, we were going to release this figure anyway, and it's just good for us that it happened when all this shenanigans with the Future Gohan figure was happening, right? So it's a very weird place for DF, because people love this figure and have been praising them for it, but at the same time, in the same breath, have been slandering DF for this whole situation with Future Gohan. So definitely let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys have to think. Let me know if you want these figures to release, and if you think that DF will actually ever come out with them. It's such a funny thing to say, but it's true, man. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.